It's time to tee it up and kick it off. It's time for the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Presented by Hatch Toyota. Sports Zone Radio brings you unmatched coverage of football from around the White Mountains and beyond. No one does it like Sports Zone Radio. And now you can live stream HD video of our broadcast coverage exclusively at sportszone123.com and on the Sports Zone Radio mobile app. All part of the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Chaz Hatch refuses to lose a deal over $1. Hard-hitting broadcast coverage of White Mountains football is up next. Now let's take you out to the field and join our broadcast team for tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week.
Well, I know you couldn't exactly hear the national anthem or hear it very well from all the way across the stadium here at Longhorn Stadium, Payson High School. However, I can promise you it was a great rendition of our national anthem by the Payson Marching Band. Welcome in, everybody, to Payson High School. In our broadcast of the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota, my name is Floyd Simmons, joined on the broadcast by Trey Schneider, and we get set to see two teams that are playing a game that, although there are several weeks left in the season, have to win, I think, this to ensure themselves a chance at the region championship at the end of the year. If you lose this one, you can't call this the championship game, but you can probably look back on it later and say, that's one that we let get away. That's one that cost us our chance at winning a region title. And that region, of course, is the 3A Mountain Region, the brand new name for our region up here in this White Mountains area. Folks, welcome in. Let me bring in Trey Schneider, my broadcast partner. We'll see that Blue Ridge is going to receive the opening kickoff here in just a moment. Trey, we've gotten a chance in the last couple of weeks to see the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Impressive 2 weeks ago in a win over Round Valley. And then we got to see Round Valley bounce back last week and beat this Payson Longhorns team and beat them pretty severely, to be honest with you, at the Dome. Looking back on those two games and a chance now to see both of the teams we'll look at right now, where do you think these teams are psychologically?
Well, I think that Blue Ridge has got to feel really good. They're coming off a bye week from that win 2 weeks ago. So I feel like they're really excited to be here. And I think Payson is feeling like they have something to prove tonight. You can't really bounce back in the moment from a game like last week. You got to take it 1 week at a time, and these guys know that tonight has to be a statement win.
On the Friday Night Football Show, Derek and I were talking about Payson and maybe some of the things that they need to figure out. One of those is how to get this terrific athlete they have at quarterback, Nolan Keeney, how to get him more involved, how to get his running game more, his legs, because you can see he's a great athlete. He's a quarterback, throws it well, throws the ball deep very well. He punts, he does that well. He's just that prototypical athlete that can do it all, but what we didn't see against Round Valley was him run the ball very well. It seems like that's something a high school quarterback has got to do.
No, that's exactly it. And Keeney last week, he tried to run a couple of times, but Round Valley did a great job of keeping him relatively contained, and I think that tonight he's going to have a great opportunity to exploit this defense using his legs.
Well, guess what? We got a late go of things, a late start here on our trip to Payson because business was, well, it was pretty busy today. But here we go. The opening kick is fielded, and we just got ready. Our broadcast, literally, we just got ready to go to bring you this broadcast seconds before we went live to the air. But here we are, and we welcome you and everybody to this broadcast of the Sports Zone Game of the Week. It's presented by Hatch Toyota, and the opening kick is fielded by Blue Ridge. They'll have the ball somewhere in the vicinity of the 20-yard line, and it looks like right on the 20, and that's where this one is going to get underway. So welcome to the broadcast, welcome to our coverage, welcome to Payson, where we have been welcomed, as we always are. They treat us well here at Payson, and thrilled to be alongside. Here's a toss to the right side, and that familiar double wing of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket offense. Carlo Harris getting the opening carry with the football, and Carlo gets 5 yards.
This double wing offense gave Round Valley a lot of trouble in that game 2 weeks ago, and it'll be interesting to see how Payson handles this because, honestly, they controlled the ground 2 weeks ago, and if they can do that, they have a really good chance tonight.
And by they, you mean Blue Ridge. The Yellow Jackets will toss it again to Carlo, and he'll pound the rock straight ahead. And let's see, he's going to end up coming up just 2 yards shy. So this time a 3-yard gain, and it's third down and a couple. And I got to be honest with you, I think that's right where the Yellow Jackets feel comfortable.
Staying on target, staying on track is what you want to do if you want to control the ground game. You want to try to average 3 yards rushing, on every play that you have from scrimmage. And so you have 3rd and 2, so they're ahead of schedule even. And so we'll see what they can do here on this big third down.
An exuberant public address announcer urging on the crowd and the Payson Longhorn defense. Here's a toss, and the tackle from behind will push the runner forward a little bit, and that'll be Brecken Sarche with his first carry of the game, and it's enough for a first down. A 5-yard pickup on the play for Sarche on his first touch with the football, and there you go. The Yellow Jackets move the chains.
Sarche was so explosive 2 weeks ago. He's going to be one of those guys that Payson's got to be aware of and where he's at all the time. Between him and Carlo Harris, they tore up that Round Valley defense.
The very tight set that you're familiar with. And here's another pitch to Sarche. Pardon me, that's not. That's Tank Hamblin. Hamblin, number 44. He was the hero 2 weeks ago, forcing that fumble by the Round Valley Elks on their potential game-winning drive at the end of the game. He forced the ball out. Brax Clough, the quarterback here, he was playing safety. He recovered that fumble and secured the win for the Yellow Jackets. And on the very first touch of the football for Hamblin, he gains a single yard to bring up 2nd down and 9. Now give it back to number 12. That's Carlo Harris. And Harris is going to use a big push to get to the 40-yard line and maybe nose the ball just past the 40. And it will be another third down, and it will be short yardage again for the Yellow Jackets.
Great use of teamwork right there on that tackle. Bert Shear and Carter Kelton teaming up to bring him down. It's hard to bring Carlo Harris down. He is a hard runner, as we saw 2 weeks ago. He willed that Blue Ridge team to a victory over a great Round Valley team.
It was a 7-yard gain for Carlo, and it's third down and a very long 2 for the Yellow Jackets. Harris in motion. He'll get the football, and he will take it straight ahead for a Yellow Jacket first down. Give Carlo 6 on the carry this time, and approaching midfield. Just exactly what this offense is designed to do. If they break a long run in this offense, it's got to shock you because it's so packed and tight that the box gets full of defenders. So hard to break to a third level on that, but that's exactly what you're looking for, a 6-yard gain. Ball at the 47-yard line. Harris, will he get it? Yep, he'll get it. And he'll get pummeled in the backfield. That was just terrific defense by Payson. They'll make him lose a yard on the play. And finally, one of those big guys up front is able to step up and make a big stop on Carlo.
Gunnar Lee with a big tackle right there on that loss. That's what Payson needs to do to try to get Blue Ridge off the field here. They've been on track, on schedule so far on this drive.
So the Yellow Jackets, after now losing a yard on that play, look at 2nd down and 11, and they are going to fake it to Harris and give it on the trap. And that is Hamblin going across midfield, and he'll get stood up at the 48-yard line. So a gain of 6 on the play for Tank Hamblin, and the Yellow Jackets are right back into a 3rd down and 5, which is, by the way, now that'll be the longest 3rd down look they've had so far in this early drive of the game.
Payson did a great job there. They rallied to that ball. I think they had 8 of their 11 dudes out there trying to bring Tank down. He's a hard runner.
If your parents give you that name, and I'm assuming that's a given name, if they do that, you have a lot to live up to. Here is a tackle in the backfield, and it's Sarche carrying the football, and Ethan Gertner and others on that Payson defense able to get to him quickly, actually force him right down at the line of scrimmage. He got back that far. It's 4th down and 5. The Jackets at the Payson 48-yard line.
Let's see if they punt it here. They might try to catch Payson sleeping right here on the first one, and they're not lining up to punt. Let's see what they do.
Trying to draw that defense is what they were trying to do, and then the Yellow Jackets on their opening possession of the game will spend a timeout. I have a hard time with those, and I used to criticize even my good friend Jeremy Hathcock for taking early game timeouts. I always hated it. Then I'd look at the score at the end of the game after he spent these early timeouts that I thought were wastes. Sometimes he would call, in a close game, tight game, call a timeout early in the third quarter of a close game. And I'm thinking, you need those timeouts at the end. Now, he won more of those games than he lost. And so, I always question this, but there they go on 4th and 5, call a timeout early.
Well, you look at it, and in the first half, who knows how much that really will affect you, But I agree. If you're calling timeouts in the third quarter, that's just a waste.
It seems like it. It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually let's flip the timeouts on that graphic. Flip the timeouts. That was Blue Ridge took the timeout. Okay. So we'll get that caught up for you. But it's 4th and 5, and Carlo goes in motion, and they'll give him the football, and the Yellow Jackets are going for broke on 4th down. It is early in the game, and guess what? The timeout, it's going to pay off, and that is a gain on the play of 7 yards and a Yellow Jacket first down.
You look at Carlo Harris, his physique. He's a tall, lengthy kid, but he runs like he is named Tank. He runs hard. And he was patient there, getting behind his lineman, Cox there. They let the play develop, and he exploded for 6 yards through that hole.
And I'm going to disagree with you on something right after this play. Fake it, give it to Sarche, who escapes one tackler, and he's going to race toward the boundary and get driven out close to a first down. I'm not sure he got quite the yardage, but he's very close. And a terrific job by Sarche to evade a couple of tacklers. And you know what? That is right at 10 yards and a first down for the Yellow Jackets on what was the 11th play of the first possession of the game for Blue Ridge. Take another look at it. Watch a nice job of running.
Great balance on that run. Wow.
And now the 12th play of the first possession for the Jackets, and this time they give it to the fullback, and he breaks loose, and he is headed for the end zone. That is what you get. That's how you turn this offense into a huge play, and the Yellow Jackets are going to end up with a long run for the touchdown. I believe that was 31 yards, if I'm not mistaken, and it is Daniel Rodriguez, the fullback, on his very first touch with the football. He takes it to the house.
That was an absolute monster run there from Daniel Rodriguez.
They're going to try to get the 2 points with Carlo. He bounces outside, and he does get the 2 points. And the Yellow Jackets go in front here early, 8-0, and they burn more than half the first quarter in getting it done. 6 minutes and 13 seconds time of possession on that. And we'll break it down further for you when we return. There's that heroic running back right there, Carlo Harris. Stand by. It's the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's deal or better deal. Only at Hatch Toyota in Solo. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then play deal or better deal. We've got 15 briefcases loaded with bonus discounts from $300 to a whopping $3,000. Pick your case, open it up, boom, $800 in additional savings. Now here's the twist. Keep it or risk it and go for a better deal. You can keep going until you say deal or drop below your last pick. Financing starting at 0% for 72 months and payment starting at just $189 a month at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
Short Yellow Jacket kick. And a Payson return across midfield. They'll get to about the 48-yard line where it gets spotted down. Payson's going to have a short field for their first possession of the game. We'll see Nolan Keeney, the quarterback, bring him out here to get this game underway for the Payson team. But a 6-minute and 13-second drive. Trey Schneider, 12 plays, and then a little bit of trickeration at the end. Fullback dive was a little tricky there.
Yeah, they're going so fast. That handoff happened so fast that your defensive linemen almost have no time to react, and that linebacker, you've got to try to wrap him up and bring him down, but they're going at you so fast it's hard to stop that.
And Payson will fake it and toss it, and the Yellow Jackets will come up with a terrific open field tackle by Brecken Sarche. He just read it beautifully, and he was downhill all the way to the point of attack, and he kept that thing from going very far. In fact, no gain on the play.
Looking at this tackle, look at that. Open field, that's the hardest tackle to make in the game of football. And he gets there, he slows him up, holds on, and his teammates come and help and rally for the tackle.
A pass for 0 yards. That was something that kind of plagued the Payson offense against Round Valley. A lot of, when they did complete a pass, it was real short yardage stuff that they couldn't get much run after catch yardage. Here goes a pile of bodies straight ahead, and that's going to be a gain of about 4 yards on the play, and the guy that carries it is, well, you're going to get used to a very familiar name on that offense for Payson, because Nathan Sosi, he had, I think, 25 carries or something like that against Round Valley, if I'm not mistaken.
He was an absolute workhorse last week. Between carries and a lot of quick swing passes, he carried a lot of that offense for him last week.
This time a 4-yard gain, and he will now split wide to the right. And Keeney will swing a pass back. That's a backwards pass. Sosi is back there in the backfield. I thought he was split out. He was not. And that's a running play, by the way. Okay, that's not a pass. Your backwards pass. And it's good for, well, just 1 single yard on the play.
These swing passes, they're very effective, right? They get your quarterback some confidence throwing that ball out quick with limited defense. But as we saw last week, sometimes you got to stretch the defense a little bit, and that's going to open up that swing pass. And so we're going to see what Payson can do here on 4th and 5.
So now the Longhorns will go for it. 4th and 5, marker down, and a sidearm fling over the middle. I tell you, Keeney gets a lot of zip on it. It is going to go incomplete to Sosi deep down the middle of the field, and a marker is out on 4th and 5. And I believe 2 guys in motion. And it's declined by the Jackets, and they're going to take over the football.
Looking at this replay here, Keeney had all sorts of time to throw that ball, put a lot of zip on it. He had a very tight window to fit it in there. Unfortunately, it bounced off the hands of his receiver, but that's going to be a pass. If they continue to go to that, their receivers will find a way to pull that in.
So the Yellow Jackets will take over at their own 44-yard line. Payson failed to get a first down on their first time with the football. And a run up the middle for Rodriguez, the guy that scampered for that 31-yard touchdown to open the scoring a moment ago. He'll gain about 4 on the play. 4 yards of pickup.
With this wing offense, it's so hard, as I mentioned earlier, for defensive linemen to get into the gaps and effectively stop a run with that quick handoff. And that's something that really hurt Round Valley a couple weeks ago. And Payson's going to have to find a way to plug that up.
Well, they're going to find a way to stop Carlo Harris this time. And then, well, that was great pursuit on defense, and a ton of guys getting there after the initial contact to keep Carlo from doing any real damage after getting the ball, and he is back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. The Jackets looking at 3rd down and 6 from their own 48-yard line. So big play, and you can almost count on the Yellow Jackets not throwing the football. But we'll see if they pull a wrinkle out on us. And they're going to run that trap inside to Sarche. Not going to happen, not going anywhere. And I think that's Johnny McInerney with the big, what do we call that?
The cowboy collar.
Cowboy collar. It looks like he should be wearing a 10-gallon hat with that thing, doesn't it? And a great job. He forces a loss of 2 on the play.
And Johnny is such a battery for this defense. When he gets going like that, everyone rallies around him, and he's going to be vital for this defense if they're going to stop Blue Ridge on these long, sustained drives that they want to try to have.
Jackets with an opening 12-play scoring drive now on their second possession. Payson figuring some things out, and they kept that from happening. Here's a fake punt, and that is incomplete to Brecken Sarche downfield, who turned around a little too early. He needed to give himself 1 or 2 further steps, then turn, and it's right there in the hands. Just a little too early.
Sometimes as a receiver, you want to try to high point the ball and you get excited and you get ready to turn and go make that play. And sometimes, as you'll see right here, yeah, like you said, he was about a yard or 2 early in that turn to try to high point and still almost made a nice one-handed catch right there.
So incomplete on the 4th down try, and the fake punt goes nowhere, and it's Payson's turn. The Payson Longhorns taking over with 1:32 remaining here in the first quarter. We'll see if the Longhorns offense can get a jump start. Slot left formation for them. Out of the shotgun, here's Sosi. And Sosi's got a nice little downhill run. He'll cross the Yellow Jacket 40-yard line. He is down to the 37 on the play, and a gain on this one of right at 9 yards. So it's going to be 2nd down and short for the Longhorns, and I like this situation for them to kind of break something out, get the offense lit up. I would take a shot deep with my big arm quarterback if I was those guys.
You have a guy like Sosi in the backfield, and so you're able to, you're going to be able to get a yard or 2 here if you need it. But like you said, this is a fantastic opportunity to open your playbook and see what you can do.
McInerney will get the first down, and he is going to protect that ball with the 2-handed carry. And he got a nice chunk out of it. Check and see where they finally mark him down. It looks like about the 30, the 31. So a gain on the play of 6. 6 yards picked up by Johnny Football. Big first down for the Longhorns. Now Sosi in the pistol behind Nolan Sweeney. The give is to Sosi. Nope, a fake and keep by Sweeney, and that's what we'd like to see. I'd like to see more Nolan Sweeney with the ball in his hands and use his athleticism to try to generate some offense for the Longhorns, and he got a nice gain out of it. How about 7 on the play?
Fantastic read here from Keeney. As you mentioned, that was a great, he stuck it right in the stomach of the running back, and the defense was ready, especially because Sosi had that big run just a couple plays ago, and so the defense bid on that, and he was able to pull it and get to the outside.
And I think we're going to get a timeout, or did time expire? It did expire. When you've got a team like the Yellow Jackets running double wing, the quarter is going to go by in a hurry. And it certainly did. Their first possession used half the quarter. And so we'll flip sides of the field. It'll be a 2nd down on the way for Payson when we return to Longhorn Stadium, the Sports Zone Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
The all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma is here at Hatch Toyota, and it's tougher, smarter, and bolder than ever. It's built to handle Arizona's wildest terrain. Drive one home for as low as $269 a month. Plus, it's deal or better deal. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then take your shot at bonus savings with 15 mystery briefcases. Each holds a hidden discount from $300 to $3,000. Only at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
It started with a dream, simple, honest, and rooted in the White Mountains of Arizona. That dream shaped legends, and those legends built Perkins Cinders. Through decades of ethic and hard work, the business became more than a name. Perkins Cinders, built by legends, driven by purpose.
So we're going to get back to it. Hey, we've got audio on the other side of the field. We've got some Payson crowd audio. We like that, okay? Here's a snap and a give to Sosi.
Good job, Nathan Sosi.
And Nathan Sosi is going to carry the ball to the 20. That's a 5-yard pickup on the play for Nathan Sosi, and a Longhorn first down.
Yeah, great block there from Lucas Lee and Angel Rodriguez there, opening that hole for Sosi to get that first down.
And from the shotgun, here's another give on the ground for Payson, and bouncing off tacklers is the runner. Peel him up off the ground. Hey, there's a new face in the running game.
Trey Marinelli, big run right there, bouncing off of defenders.
Trey good for 8 yards on the play. So for the Longhorns, here comes the second and short coming up, and that was just tough, hard-nosed Payson Longhorn running right there.
That's kind of what they're known for, that hard-nosed football.
Give up the middle. This will be close to a first down. And was that Sosi again this time?
It was. Tackle from Jared Cox.
Well, a 1 yard gain will leave third down and a yard to go for Payson.
There's a lot of room here on this near side. Let's see if they maybe try to throw a trick in here.
No, they're not going to go. They're not going to go any sort of misdirection, any sort of trickeration. They're going to try to get Johnny McInerney, who picked up that short yardage fourth down conversion earlier in the drive. Not happening this time. He loses a yard on the play.
And Blue Ridge's defense, great job rallying to that tackle. That's what you need if you want to get this Payson team off of the field so that you have a chance to put another touchdown and grow this lead. That's the kind of play you got to have.
So for Payson, it is not four-down territory. Grady Bix is on the floor, on the field to attempt a 30-yard field goal from the right hash mark toward the Longhorn uprights, and the kick is up and good. A 30-yard field goal puts these points on the board for the Payson Longhorns. And it's 8-3, Blue Ridge in front here in the second quarter. Stand by, it's the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint is giving you a chance to win premium tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. Win 2 tickets, a stay at the MGM Grand, and $1,000 cash. Every customer gets an entry. Insured customers get 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, and you could be headed to the National Finals Rodeo.
5365972 Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you. Woohoo!
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch health care. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
Took a while, but the Payson Longhorns end up getting some points on the board here in the second quarter, and their first score is that 30-yard field goal by Bix. Here is a line drive kick. And picked up by the Yellow Jackets, brought back to about the 25-yard line. And that's where Blue Ridge will bring the offense back out on the floor here. Back out on the floor, it's like I'm watching a basketball game or something.
We're getting close. The Suns are playing tonight, so that might be you're getting back in the flow.
Preseason?
Preseason, they're playing the Lakers. But going back to that last drive, if you're Blue Ridge, you're happy with that result. They were marching and you were held them to a field goal. So, I mean, if you're Blue Ridge, you got to come down and capitalize now off of your great defensive stand.
There were definitely moments on that Payson drive when it kind of had that feel of all of a sudden they're starting to take over with their size and their beef, and yet the Yellow Jackets did, they walled up eventually, and I think you're right, consider that some sort of a moral victory early on in the game. 4-yard gain there for Carlo Harris.
But you're right. Looking at this team right here as they come to the line, look at the size differential here.
Yellow Jackets do have a bigger line than usual. Still not usually bigger than anybody else. Here's a toss. We talked about that on the Friday Night Football show. Carlo Harris squeezes through a little bit of a seam, and he got a little bit more. but he's about 3 yards shy. So call that a gain of 3 on the play for Carlo, and it's 3rd down and 3 for the Yellow Jackets.
Old school coaches and myself, we like to talk about being on schedule, and right now they're probably a little bit behind schedule. You probably like another extra yard here, but this isn't something that Blue Ridge can't handle, as they've converted on this down and distance before.
So it is 3rd down and 13. Jackets with a long snap count. Brax Clough will toss it and lead the way for Carlo Harris to pile forward for a Yellow Jacket 1st down. Carlo gains 5 on the play. So we got what was needed, +2, and that's another Yellow Jacket 1st down.
This wing is so hard to defend, this double wing offense, because they can go either way. They can go up the middle, they can go outside. But Payson is doing an okay job right now trying to keep that inside.
Here's the toss. And Carlo gets stood up and then driven back. And he's going to get no empathy from those defensive linemen who were, they were in force right there when he made his cutback. And the guy that gets the credit, first and foremost, is Milo Sproul. Sproul was there, number 63, making that stop.
As you mentioned, that defense was not happy about that conversion that they just had the play prior, and they let them know.
So a 0 gain on that last play. It brings up 2nd down and 10. Yellow Jackets don't want to be put in that position. Toss it to Sarche. He'll race to the corner, turn it up, and he's able, before being driven out of bounds, to get some of that back. It's going to be in the vicinity of a 4 or 5 yard gain for Sarche, who had to run for his life on that edge.
That's a great way to describe that. He was running for his life.
Ends up being a 3 yard pickup is all. Good pursuit by that defense.
Yep.
And he's not going to get credit for the tackle, but you really have to give a lot of credit to Landon Parton. Parton, the guy that was giving chase right there, number 9. And he was able to string him out enough for the defense to pursue behind him. Keep that now to a 3rd down and 7 for the Yellow Jackets. And they want to throw. The lefty will put it up. Try to get it behind the defense, and Brecken Sarche makes a nifty catch for the Yellow Jacket conversion. 17 yards on the pass play to Sarche for the 1st down.
Let me say this. Brecken Sarche is one of those X-factor guys. He runs it well. That's a great catch right there, bringing it in. He does it all. And he's going to be one of those guys. He's here on the sideline catching a quick breather, but he's going to be one of those difference makers for Blue Ridge in this game.
Great concentration, because Caden Sanchez, the defender, was really right there. Here's a handoff to Rodriguez, and he will sneak his way through the line, keep those legs churning, and gain 8 yards. If I'm not mistaken, make it 7. 7-yard gain. Mark him at the 36-yard line of Payson.
He almost broke that one for another one. He stayed patient. He just kind of stays back behind his blockers and just kind of waits till he sees a little window. And he almost broke that one again. Great job from the Payson secondary to not allow him to break that one.
Make no mind to the timeout graphic. We'll update you on that. It's Blue Ridge that has spent the timeout. Payson still has all 3 of theirs. Here comes the toss to try to pick up the 1st down, and just this time a 1-yard gain for Harris. 1 yard, the pickup on the play. There's the mastermind of the offense right there. That is Coach Brandon Newcomb, the longtime Altusay Falcons coach. Now working here, calling the offense for the Yellow Jackets. And he knows this offense better than everybody. There's one guy that knows it better than Brandon Newcomb, okay? One guy knows it better. That guy is his father, his dad, who is Coach Newcomb the father. I don't know his first name, but he's kind of a legend in California. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame, the Coaches Hall of Fame over there in California. I believe he's a multiple state champion over there, and he's the guy that taught this younger Coach Newcomb how to run this offense.
And he's doing a great job, because this is one of those offenses you kind of look at it and you go, we're in the 21st century. Let's move the ball through the air. Let's do something exciting, because sometimes it's hard to kind of get excited for these, 2-3 yard gains. But as we've seen, it has been so efficient today.
See that coach on the other side, that young coach, Brian Burke. Not as young as he used to be, I'll have to say that, but Coach Burke is a terrific young Paysonite, original Payson Longhorn. Played on that 2008 Payson Longhorn State Championship team that went undefeated and was the best team Payson ever fielded. Now he runs this program. They're going to give it up the middle. And I believe that was Daniel Rodriguez from his fullback spot. And they'll eventually peel him up off the ground, as well as everybody else in that. How about that? That really was rugby for a moment, wasn't it?
A lot of bodies to get out of the way.
So that does, by the way, pick up the first down on a gain of, I believe that was a gain of 4 on the play for Rodriguez. First down, Yellow Jackets in motion. Harris, and he will work his way back toward the middle of the field, and didn't take a bunch of punishment that time. You run between the tackles like that a lot, you're gonna get punishment dished out. It was Marinelli on the tackle, and that's one where Carlo running in the middle said, "Hey, that didn't hurt too bad."
Yeah, he's a pretty slick little runner right there. Knows how to get away from a tackle and get away from a hit.
Got 5 out of that last one. And a couple more. He'll be shy of the first down here on what was now play number 9 of this drive. So the Jackets opening drive, 12 plays. Then they went 3 and out the next time they had it. Here in the second quarter, the first time they've touched the ball here. Just their 3rd possession of the game overall. Here comes the 10th play of the drive. Actually, on 3rd down and 1, it is the 10th play of the drive. Harris has got the first down, and Harris will go down, but not before he moves the chains yet again for the Yellow Jackets. That's a chunky game right there.
It is. Going back to that replay, you can see the linemen are doing their best to plug that middle, and I think they're starting to solidify that middle. And so Blue Ridge has been working that outside, and they've had some great success. And it's been interesting to see that they continue to have that success when you know it's coming.
Gain of 9 on that last play. Here's Harris again. And here's a cutback. And he keeps it going. And he'll be near more first down yardage on this one. Carlo Harris making a statement to this Payson defense. Maybe just a half a yard shy, okay? So gain of 9 on that last play. Back-to-back 9-yard carries for Carlo Harris. And into the game comes Tank Hamblin, number 44.
You have to think he's getting it right here.
Give Carlo a little break, you think?
Yeah.
Let's see who goes in motion. Harris. And he gets it. And he will get the first down as well. Carlo carrying the football inside the 5-yard line, or right to the 5. So pickup of 2 yards. 2 yards to gain, and that was enough for another Yellow Jacket first down.
Blue Ridge right here is just daring Payson to stop him. They've run the same play 3 times in a row here, and they're just saying, until you stop it, we're going to keep going at it.
So you tell me they don't believe it?
Well, let's find out.
They're not believers, you say. Ball at the 5-yard line. It's first and goal. First and goal for the Jackets. And that'll be Sarche. And he goes inside the 3 to the 2 and maybe even the 1-yard line. I think that's right where they're going to spot him. So he came up just a little bit shy. 4 yards to pick up on that play. 2nd and goal from the 1 coming up. And now we go under a minute and a half remaining in the first half. And this is exactly what this offense is designed to do. It's designed to use a lot of clock. It is designed to be hard to stop for 3, 4, 5 yards. And it's designed to shorten the game in the end. And then when you don't have the offensive weapons that you'd like to have that can really stretch the field, that can go vertical. What do? You do this, and you stay in the game. You keep it low scoring and stay in the game against a good team, don't you?
And they're doing it so well. They are absolutely taking advantage of it, and so, I mean, let's see if they can get in here on this goal line stand. I have to expect they're going to.
Quick break. Stand by. It's the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
When exactness is ordered, Hatch Concrete will deliver. We provide ready-mix concrete for any size job, from the do-it-yourself project to the professional construction project, delivering a variety of aggregate to suit your concrete or construction needs from granite to cinders. Hatch Concrete is not just another ready-mix concrete company. We provide quality service, quality concrete.
So we're back into it, and the Yellow Jackets will go for it. Give it to the fullback, and it's piled up, and no indication, and I don't think he made it. I don't think he got there. It was, by the way, spotted at the 2-yard line. And so Daniel Rodriguez will get knocked down at the 1-yard line, and it's 3rd and goal from the 1 for the Jackets.
I just heard a fan here yell, "Go Carlo." So I think the fans are calling it what they want right here.
They want Carlo to get the football?
Yep.
I don't think that's a bad idea at all. In fact, it might have been a female fan, right?
I think so.
And she's a very smart very astute football observer.
Yes. Because
that's the guy you give it to right here in this situation. Now, on the other hand, what I haven't seen out of the Yellow Jackets in the times I've gotten to see them this year so far is quarterback sneak. So I wonder if you run a sneak out of this set. And also I wonder if you might want to try the old tush-push kind of Philadelphia Eagles offense.
Tush-push, not a bad idea. Quarterback sneak might be difficult. We just saw that Payson walled up their front. But I think with the way that they've been motioning with that quick pitch, fake handoff with Brax there, you could get a quick boot out to the opposite side of the motion, almost like replace that motion with the quarterback sneak.
So 3rd down and goal, and the Yellow Jackets trying to add to a 5-point lead here with the final seconds ticking down here in the first half. Long snap count. Carlo in motion. He gets the carry into the end zone. Carlo Harris tacks on a Yellow Jacket touchdown. And that is a great way to quiet the Payson Longhorn fans.
It really does feel like the energy's over here.
On the Blue Ridge side, which is, by the way, where they put us to broadcast. Harris takes it in on the 15th play of the drive. Brax Clough throws it up in the air. He knew there were guys over there on that side. Somebody yelled fire on the bad snap, and Brax tried to get it going. Do we need to stay right here? Hey, we get to stay through the break, everybody. It's 14-3. Yellow Jackets on top here, taking on the Payson Longhorns here in this big 3A Mountain Region matchup. Well, you know, Trey, these matchups here, I think at the top of the region, it's as close among the 4 leaders in the region as I've ever seen it. Between these two teams, Payson and Blue Ridge, at Round Valley, at Sholo, they are so evenly matched, I still can't tell you who I think should win this region this year.
You asked me that last week on the broadcast, and I felt very confident going with Round Valley, and I as the week went on, the more I thought about it, the more I agree with you. It is up for grabs, and it's going to be whoever wants it.
Who wants it the most?
Exactly.
I'm going to say hello to Daryl Heward, as you look at a Yellow Jacket onside kick attempt that gets fielded, nestles in at the 46-yard line. It'll be first down right there for the Payson Longhorns, and they have precious few seconds remaining in the half. But they do have their full 3 timeouts. I know the scoreboard graphic shows 2 there, but Payson's got 3 timeouts. Blue Ridge has 2 timeouts.
I believe Payson used one on that goal line stand.
And right you are. So it's the Horns from their own 46-yard line, their worst field position of the 3 possessions they've had today. This is their 3rd, and they'll throw deep. This guy can rain bombs on you. Almost completed the pass downfield. Sarche defensively there to break it up on a pass attempt for the Longhorns. They were going deep for Marco Jaricki. As you look at it again. Gareke? Gareke. Are you Gareke?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Gareke. Hey, we got somebody corrected us. Thank you for that. One of the Payson coaches here. So the deep shot, it comes up short. Now they're going to throw mid-range. Pass is caught right near the sticks, but short of the first down. And Payson might have to spend a timeout. Now they're going to line it up. So 9 yards on the pass completion there. Final play of the half right here. Keeney rolling around, looking, lofting into traffic. Pass is incomplete. Well, there was a ton of contact back there, wasn't there?
I think everybody got involved a little bit, and there may have been some flags going both ways.
Yeah, there was unhappy people in the Payson stands. There was some unhappy Yellow Jacket fans, and Payson will celebrate because they're going to get a flag, I believe, after all of that. Watch it again. Oh yeah, that's clearly Rodriguez had 2 hands full of the receiver, but they did not throw the flag. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting call.
If they could go back and look at it again, they might reach for the flag on a second look at it.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of action, a lot of activity, and the officials have to be roaming around, running around, and spotting everything they possibly can. That's how the half comes to an end, that incomplete pass right there. And for the Yellow Jackets, road trip to Payson so far, it's been very successful, 14-3. Blue Ridge leading the Longhorns as we go into halftime. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints. We try it again. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints. Pretty good. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints. Halftime report is on the way, everybody. Rejoin us here in Payson in just a moment here on the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's deal or better deal. Only at Hatch Toyota in Solo. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then play deal or better deal. We've got 15 briefcases loaded with bonus discounts from $300 to a whopping $3,000. Pick your case, open it up, boom, $800 in additional savings. Now here's the twist. Keep it or risk it and go for a better deal. You can keep going until you say deal or drop below your last pick. Financing starting at 0% for 72 months and payment starting at just $189 a month at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
It started with a dream. Simple, honest, and rooted in the White Mountains of Arizona. That dream shaped legends, and those legends built Perkins Cinders. Through decades of ethic and hard work, the business became more than a name. Perkins Cinders, built by legends, driven by purpose.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
Beeman Well Drilling is a proud partner of Sports Zone Radio and the Friday Night Football Show, and they give support to each and every school and team in the White Mountains. Just like Sports Zone Radio, Beeman Drilling has a kind of experience that makes them the best at what they do. Paul Wyatt is the guy to talk to, and he'll take your call anytime, day or night. 537-1031. Or better yet, call him right on his cell phone, 928-205-7647. This football season, go deep with Beeman Drilling.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Welcome to the Mountain Mobile Halftime. A complete first-half breakdown of tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast. This is the Mountain Mobile Halftime.
Halftime as we welcome you back into Payson, Arizona, everybody. Longhorn Stadium, the home of the Longhorns. And it's the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. Yep, and we'll start taking a look at some replays in a moment. We should have came out to camera 1 out there because we want to take some other looks here. So let's pull out of that, guys, because I want to take some shots here. Let's go ahead and pull out of that, and I want to take. Let's go ahead and get out of the replays, and because what I want to do is, first of all, I want everybody to see my broadcast partner, Trey Schneider. So, yeah, we can go ahead and grab camera 2 anytime. Are we having an issue? We might be having a reception issue, and there we go.
There we go.
So we're in our broadcast location here. High atop Longhorn Stadium. I'm Floyd Simmons. This is my broadcast partner, Trey Schneider, right here. I'll admit, the more handsome of the pairing here. But the reason why I wanted to show things is because of this. Because we finally got the reprinting of our Sports Zone Player of the Game T-shirts. I'm not the Player of the Game yet. There is some question as to whether or not I will get that today. But I wanted to show the new shirts. We owe some to some people out there, and we'll get some shirts distributed to some deserving kids. But those great shirts, let's get the logo in there. White Mountain Regional Medical Center is the presenting sponsor of the Sports Zone's Player of the Game. So thank you to them. These beautiful shirts with a beautiful graphic. Get in there tight on that. Show them. I don't know if you can really see the texture on that, but these are some great T-shirts. And we're thrilled to get those delivery on those today. And we'll be giving out a T-shirt or 2 here tonight at the conclusion of our broadcast. And an opportunity to see who picks that up. Now, if you were talking about out of this first half, Trey Schneider, leading contenders for that on the Blue Ridge side of the ledger, who stands out so far? Is that guy right there, number 12?
I think so. Carlo Harris has been just killing it offensively. Here you see the touchdown run from Daniel Rodriguez. He's definitely one of those guys that has sparked this first half offense. And also Brecken Sarche, great catch there, or right here in front of us at one point in the first half, as well as a couple great runs.
Again, we'll hand that out at the end of the game. Thank you to White Mountain Regional Medical Center. This is the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. Look more at some action from that first half as we break it down for you. Not much to talk about in the scoring, but we'll talk about it. Blue Ridge got the ball first. Kick return to the 20-yard line, and they went on a 12-play, 80-yard scoring drive that took 6 minutes and 13 seconds, that opening possession. And you saw the run by Daniel Rodriguez a moment ago, a 31-yard touchdown run by Daniel that ended up putting those points on the board. Touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. They got the 2-point conversion out of Carlo Harris, and that made it 8-0 with 5:47 to play in the first quarter. Payson would go 3 and out on their first possession. The Yellow Jackets got it. They went 3 and out, and they gave it to Payson, who went on an 8-play scoring drive. It ended up with a 30-yard field goal from Grady Bix. And with 9:29 on the clock, that field goal made it 8-3. Blue Ridge still in front, but Payson finally on the board. The Yellow Jackets took the ensuing kickoff and possession at the 25-yard line and marched on a 15-play scoring drive that was capped off by Carlo Harris's 1-yard touchdown run. The point after failed by the Yellow Jackets, but their lead was 14-3. That left after scoring with 36 seconds in the second quarter. Just that half a minute for the Payson Longhorns, and they could do nothing with it. They threw a couple of incomplete passes on the way to running down the final seconds of the first half. That brings us to a 14-3 halftime score. Now, we don't have stats for this particular game, Trey, but we can look at a few things. One of those is this. The Yellow Jackets defense deserves a ton of credit. 3 possessions in the first half for Payson. The first possession was a 3 and out, and the last possession we saw it a moment ago was those 3 attempted offensive plays. They did get 9 yards on one of the passes, but then that was it. They couldn't even get the first down on that series. So the one possession they scored on started at the Yellow Jacket 46-yard line. It ended up being a 30-yard field goal, meaning that essentially they got to the 13-yard line before then kicking the football. On the way to that 30-yard field goal, I believe they picked up 2 first downs.
I think you're right.
On that series, and that's it. 2 first downs in the first half for the Payson Longhorns. Their yardage then for the game was all collected on that and just a handful of yards on the other 2 possessions. They don't have a ton of offense in this game. The Yellow Jacket defense has really, really shown up tonight.
They have. Despite being undersized, these guys are playing with a lot of heart. They're making things really difficult for this Payson offense, which has a lot of weapons. So if you're Payson, you're looking, what have we gone wrong? What have we strayed away from? You want to try to figure out what are the things that you do best? What are the plays that you practice the most? And find ways to get those to continue to work better. And if you're Blue Ridge, you're quite happy with the result so far. You've eaten tons of clock. You've scored 2 touchdowns here. And you've moved the ball extremely well despite being undersized up front. And so both of these teams, it's still up for grabs, but Payson's going to have to do a great job, and they're going to have to work really hard to get this Blue Ridge team off of the field quick because, as we've seen from that drive summary there, they can eat a lot of clock and take up a lot of that time, and time right now is not their friend.
Payson has about 49 yards of offense.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, it's right at about 49 yards. The Yellow Jackets, well, they have a drive of 80 yards and another drive of 75. It's been a pretty clean game, by the way. Not a lot of penalty yardage assessed against either one of these teams so far. But the total yardage for Blue Ridge is something like 157. Wow. About 157 yards. So it's about 3 times as much offense generated by the Yellow Jackets tonight compared to the Payson Longhorns, who have yet to find the end zone. So a second consecutive time that we've gotten to see Payson where they're just having some struggles. That offense really struggling to find a second and third and a fourth gear.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because you look at the defense for Payson, 14 points and a half isn't the worst thing in the world. You can overcome that with the offensive weapons that we know that Payson has. And so you got to find a way for your offense to pay off for your defense, right? Your defense is working hard. They're doing their best. But offensively, help your defense out let them rest a little bit longer because they've had a couple long drives out there on the field. Keep some drives alive, go down and score a couple points, and this could be anybody's game.
Well, you're watching some of that action from field level down there on the highlights, and I got to tell you, it's a physical game, isn't it? I mean, there is a lot of pounding and a lot of aggression being let out on the game here tonight. Look at that pass downfield, that great Brecken Sarche catch with the defender right there all over him. The concentration to pull it in. More Carlo Harris action for you right there. This Yellow Jackets team have really embraced the double wing, and give them a ton of credit. They are running it extremely well, and they're owning it, and it's paying off for them so far. And now our second 3A Mountain Region game we've gotten to broadcast with the Yellow Jackets, doing a terrific job. We'll take a timeout and return to wrap up the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. So, sorry about that. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report back after this.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
The all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma is here at Hatch Toyota, and it's tougher, smarter, and bolder than ever. It's built to handle Arizona's wildest terrain. Drive one home for as low as $269 a month. Plus, it's deal or better deal. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then take your shot at bonus savings with 15 mystery briefcases. Each holds a hidden discount from $300 to $3,000. Only at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
The gridiron is where teams come to battle and dominate. With over 5 decades of knowledge and expertise, manpower, and a whole lot of horsepower, Perkins Cinders is that all-star teammate you need to dominate your project. They deliver all things dirt, from gravel, cinders, topsoil mulch, concrete materials, and more. Want to score big? Use the one that will get you that win. Perkins Cinders is helping you get a load of this.
Your neighbors and friends won't have to fake their enthusiasm over your new wall. With the durability and strength of precast Verticrete walls from Hatch Concrete is a solid investment. Enhance your property's value with a 2-sided decorative concrete wall that's as stylish as it is affordable. No yearly repairs or restaining needed. Request a free estimate from Hatch Concrete today, where quality isn't just a name, but a tradition.
Back in to wrap up the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint halftime report. You're getting good at that.
I have spent a lot of time studying for this.
You're starting to get there, and I give you kudos, because apparently kudos are a good thing. I really don't even know what kudos are.
I don't either. Somebody
ought to come up with a snack food called kudos.
Oh yeah, those would sell
big time, wouldn't they?
Yeah, giving kudos.
I can't exactly. I can't believe I'm just now thinking of this. How can we turn this into $1 million?
Well, we've got the business structure and the marketing here. We'll figure it out.
Let's figure this thing out, man. Some kudos. We'll try to figure out what that snack must look like. Okay, all right. And while I do that, and while we divert ourselves from the football for just a second, how about one more big football? Non-football item. I don't know if you saw this headline. I just saw it. I was browsing a little bit, trying to find a scoreboard. And congratulations to the Snowflake Lobos on a good first half. Last we checked, Snowflake was leading Poston Butte 20-0, and I have a feeling it's going to get a lot uglier than that as the game goes along, because Snowflake is 5-0, Poston is 0-5, and both of those records are very indicative.
Yep. And if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in. I have a cousin on that Snowflake team who just last night or 2 nights ago got his very first collegiate offer scholarship to go play at Ottawa University in Arizona.
Nice. Gian Jones. Well, I have a lot of regard for Ottawa. And I think that if he decides to take him up on that'll be terrific because it's a good place. It's close to home. It's a great school. It's a sports school.
Yeah.
It's a sports school.
Yeah.
I think something north of 90% of all students at that school are playing a college athletic sport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a sports school.
That's okay.
Nonetheless, they do some really good and interesting things academically. Main thing is this. Congratulations to Gian Jones. That's fantastic.
Really excited for him.
Love that. Love that. Good for him. Let's see here. Big headline out there that I wanted to mention, a non-football headline, just to see if this breaks your heart at all.
Yeah.
Just saw the headline that said Dollywood is closing.
Oh, I've never been, but...
Dollywood. Do you know Dollywood?
I know what it is. I listened to a podcast of a couple guys from the Midwest that have talked about Dollywood, and it sounds like a fun place to go, but I never made it that way.
Unfortunately, Dollywood is permanently closing their amusement parks, and the headline says $5 billion industry faces foreclosure. So, I don't know what that's about, but... Dolly herself, I think, is doing okay, and that's always good because she's a national treasure.
Yes.
Dolly Parton is. But Dollywood closing down, so you got that. And I mentioned $5 billion industry facing foreclosure. Did you see the headline about Elon Musk, who is going to fire another rocket, I guess, tomorrow? There's going to be another SpaceX rocket firing off the California coast or something like that, so you'll be able to see that in the sky tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So look for that. Headline on Elon Musk. He just became the first person in the history of the planet with $500 billion of wealth.
Wow.
He's got $500 billion.
He's figured it out.
He had less than $100 billion when COVID hit.
Wow.
Yeah, COVID has been the biggest redistributor of wealth in our country's history, okay?
Yeah.
And he is now worth $500 billion. Halfway to $1 trillion, my boy. Halfway to $1 trillion.
I need to give him a call and figure out what he's doing right.
That's what I'm saying, One of the things is I don't think he sleeps. I think he's awake 24/7. He also, when he's traveling, he sleeps on the couches of his friends. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. He could buy a hotel, but he sleeps on the couch of his friends. Here's the second half kickoff by the Yellow Jackets. It is picked up at the 25-yard line, and Payson will pick their way forward and get a nice little return out of it, out across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. It will be first down right there for the Longhorns. And was that number 18 carrying the ball back? Because I think you're related to that kid, number 18 out there.
Yeah, number 18, Tegan Lewis. Found out today he was I didn't know he was playing on the team, but Tegan, great job out there, kid.
We might go back and look at that kick return here in a little bit because we want to give your kin some love if indeed he was the guy that carried that back. From the 43-yard line, here's the throw downfield, that sidearm hook and contact and pass interference. That is going to result in a 15-yard mark-off and a first down for the Longhorns. They'll be in Yellow Jacket territory after the contact downfield.
Well, we've got a penalty on the far side at the line of scrimmage, so we're going to see what happened there.
You think there was offsetting?
I think it might be, unfortunately.
Make a play on the ball.
So, yep. Penalty on the defense, pass interference, and then maybe a 2-minute in motion on the offense, some illegal procedure on the offense. And it's going to be a play it over. Do it again.
You hate to see it. Payson had a good break right there going their way, and they lost it there.
How do you like that sidearm delivery by Keeney?
Fantastic arm. I'm loving his release.
He gets it downfield. I don't know how he gets that much air underneath it when he throws it that sidearm shot like that. But he does. Hey, how about Sarche with a good open field tackle? That's going to prevent this thing from going too far. But Payson does get something out of it, and the pass is completed. On the receiving end is Lucas Lee. Lucas hauling that in, gain of 8 on the play.
Great misdirection here. They're pulling everybody to the right side of the field, and Lee just on a quick out to the left.
Motion, Payson throwing, sprint out right, and connection, and that'll be first down yardage. Gain of right at 13. Let's see if they make it 12. 12-yard gain to the 36-yard line.
Great rollout. Great catch from Marco Guerreque right there. Payson offense starting to come alive right here.
First down, Longhorns. Pistol set, and they give it to Nathan Sosi, and Sosi will cross the 35, get to the 33, and that's where he is spotted down. And it will be a pickup of 4 yards on this one. Second down and 6 coming up. And I do need to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Sports Zone Radio Network. This is Mix 98 KRFM Sholo, the broadcast home of the Sports Zone, and our coverage of the Sports Zone Game of the Week. It's presented by Hatch Toyota. Longhorns shift. There's too many guys in the backfield. That's an illegal offensive formation. And here's a run up the middle. I want to see that replay there, because as we watch Keeney go across the 30-yard line, he is going to gain 4 yards on this play. Well, see if we can see the set here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the backfield.
Got to have one more on the line.
That's an illegal set. Nobody caught it except us. That's all right. We'll catch stuff like that for you.
That's what they're paying us for.
No flag, no harm, no foul. Third down and 3. Horns throwing downfield toward the end zone. That is out of reach and incomplete. Good coverage. And just a little bit too long on the chuck for the Longhorns. They are not bashful about throwing the ball deep, are they?
When you have a quarterback with an arm like that, it's not a bad idea to spread the defense out a little bit and throw it long every now and again.
Here's Guerreque, the intended receiver. You see Brax Clough there on the replay providing some tight coverage. And a good job there. And now the Payson fans are going to get up and make a bunch of noise. Motion, left side, Sosi there, but they'll throw over the middle. Guerreque is going to make the catch, and it will be good for first down yardage, depending on what the marker thrown by the back judge. Well, that ain't even the back judge. That's just that's the umpire who threw. He was deep. The umpire was deep, and the Yellow Jackets are celebrating. Yellow Jacket fans are anyway, because they're going to get the call.
2 men in motion again, they're saying.
So some formation issues, some motion issues for the Longhorns, and it's going to cost them 5 yards right there and make it 4th and 8 now. And Payson presents in a 4-down territory look as they go in motion. Look at them send a number 78 split out to the right. He becomes the tackle over there on that side. That is interesting. Throw over the middle, wide open pass caught, race to the end zone, and a Payson touchdown! It took them some time, but the Payson Longhorns finally find a connection over the middle. Lucas Lee right down the seam, and a big touchdown for the Longhorns.
They have Lucas Lee as a tight end in their roster. He moves like a wide receiver. That was a quick run after the catch.
So the Longhorns come out of the locker room, and they worked a few things out. And they came out throwing. They'll throw again here for the 2-point try, but that's a great tackle by Brax Clough. Terrific job by Brax. He prevents the 2 points. And a touchdown on the board for Payson. Watch it again. Right down the middle. It was wide open. So they diagnosed something there. And they got 6 points out of it. Stand by, everybody. The Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
When exactness is ordered, Hatch Concrete will deliver. We provide ready-mix concrete for any size job, from the do-it-yourself project to the professional construction project, delivering a variety of aggregate to suit your concrete or construction needs from granite to cinders. Hatch Concrete is not just another ready-mix concrete company. We provide quality service, quality concrete, concrete pumping, and Fox blocks where quality is not just a name, but a tradition. At Hatch Concrete, this mud's for you.
So anytime you've got a matchup that features a team running the double wing, it feels to me like you always have a weird score.
Yeah.
And 14-9 just feels like a little bit of a weird score.
You don't see that very often.
This one rolls around, it's picked up, and the Jackets will bring this one out across the 25 to the 29. That 29-yard line is where they will mark down the return man. And it's going to be first down for the Yellow Jackets as we bring you back in to this broadcast of the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota. There are the Jacket fans that have made the trip. And in true Yellow Jacket fan fashion, they're seated.
Yeah.
They're going to stay nice and comfortable and warm. And if you give them enough of a reason, they're going to rise to their feet.
Yeah. It takes a little bit, but
we'll see what the reasoning is for them here. Maybe coming up in the fourth quarter. Here's a toss, Carlo Harris, and as he does, he's a magnet for those big defenders, and they're going to be draped all over him. And the guy that will get credit for a tackle there is that big guy in the middle, number 55, Braden Lee. Braden, they don't have a listing on his weight, but he looks pretty stout in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, he's a strong-looking kid.
It ended up being a gain on the play of 3 yards for Harris. Give it to him again, and he gets knifed under by McInerney. Johnny with the nice tackle. Limits that to a 1-yard gain.
Johnny is just one of those kids, man. As a coach, you love to have him. If he's on your team, you love to have him. If you have to game plan against him, you're not as happy about that.
Yeah, you want him wearing your colors, that's for sure. It's 3rd down and 6. Well, the Jackets, the double wing, Carlo in motion. They give it to him. He'll escape one tackler. And then he'll get very near first down yardage, but not quite there. Not quite to the sticks. It'll be 4th and very short for the Jackets coming up once again. And among those guys on the tackle, Gunnar Lee comes in there. Throws a big forearm. Make you feel it.
Looking here at Payson's defensive front, they are stacking everybody at the line. They're going to make them beat them a different way.
It's Harris on 4th and a yard. And Carlo is wrapped up, not going anywhere. And the celebration is on for that young man who helps his team step up big and make the stop. Jace Brownlee with the tackle.
Sometimes it's all about the numbers at the point of attack, and Payson had just more guys there, and it is hard to win when you are outmatched in number.
So on downs here in this third quarter, the Yellow Jackets give the ball up, and Payson getting a little bit of momentum now, getting a little bit of that energy that they couldn't seem to find in the first half. They scored on their opening possession here in the first half, in the second half, in the third quarter. Make this a 1-score game, and now the defense makes a big stand, and they'll throw deep to the end zone. Racing for it, and that's going to be off the fingertips of the receiver. Again in coverage back there is Brax Clough. So he makes another nice defensive play for the Yellow Jackets. Payson was asking for some help from the officials. They thought there was some early contact on that. I think the receiver they were trying to find down there was Landon Parton.
Nolan Keeney with just a beautiful ball right there.
Actually, it was Bert Shear. Bert Shear was the intended receiver. Yeah, it was a good-looking ball and a really terrific defensive play, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. 6:53 on the clock here in the third quarter. The Longhorns have been airing it out here in this half. Fake it, keep it. There is Nolan Keeney. Cuts it back, and the big guy at quarterback will take this the distance. And the Payson Longhorns will grab their first lead of the football game on a 36-yard touchdown run.
Some of the most patient running you're ever going to see. Nolan Keeney pulls the option, takes it up the middle. He gets a lead block, and I believe that lead blocker was number 69, Joseph Delgai, and he just ran behind him until it was time for him to explode and get to the end zone, and that's exactly what happened.
Payson will line up here now with a 15-14 advantage and try to put 2 on the board. Keeney rolls and gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Watch it again. The nice touchdown run. This is what we were talking about on the Friday Night Football show. This guy looks like he's got these moves in him. He looks like he's got that long loping stride. He does. And we didn't see it last week. Didn't see it in the first half. There's a big Nolan Keeney 36-yard touchdown run. This is the Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
It started with a dream. Simple, honest, and rooted in the White Mountains of Arizona. That dream shaped legends, and those legends built Perkins Cinders. Through decades of ethic and hard work, the business became more than a name. Perkins Cinders, built by legends, driven by purpose.
Step into the world where every bloom tells a story at the Bloom House Floral Design Shop. From enchanting decor to lifelike artificial florals that stay stunning year-round, we craft magic for your home, your holidays, and your biggest moments. Need a custom arrangement or a centerpiece that wows? We'll design it just for you. No fairy godmother required. The Bloom House, located in Pinetop and Show Low, is where imagination blossoms and every day becomes more beautiful.
Well, the problem with the double wing is that you have to execute. I mean, I know you can say the same about every offense out there, but the problem is that you just don't very often have big plays in the double wing. Generally speaking, you're running it for a reason. You're running it because of athlete deficiency. And the Yellow Jackets definitely are a smaller and oftentimes a less fast team versus the opposition. Now the Yellow Jackets are finding themselves in a position, Trey Schneider, where the Jackets have got to keep this thing close. They can't let it get away. They can't let that momentum rest in the hands of Payson for very long.
As you mentioned, the double wing, it's one of those where every play has to be a positive play. You can't afford to get no gains. You can't afford to lose yards. Every yard has to be, or every play has to be a gain.
And this one is sniffed out. Ball is loose on the exchange, and the Payson Longhorns have made a recovery. And the momentum has turned into a landslide, an avalanche for the Horns, and they're going to get the ball on a fumble recovery. Try to run that little misdirection, that trap to Sarche. It was never a clean give, and it ends up being Payson's ball. Was that Landon Parton that came up with it?
I think so. Payson blew through. They had 3 guys into the backfield that blew up the option, the quarterback keep, and was able to also recover the fumble.
So the Payson Longhorns take over the football, and they've got the ball now at their opponent's 19-yard line. Fake it. And there goes Keeney around the right side. It's what we've been asking for, and Keeney is going to take this one, and some defenders with him inside the 5-yard line. A marker is down as he goes down near the goal line, and that's one of those that kind of has the feel of maybe a face mask or something at the end of it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It had to have been some sort of tackling penalty, so let's see what they call here.
Yeah, that's going to be on the offense. I didn't see it. I didn't see what the indication was.
I think because you're not allowed to pick up your own guy, I think it might have had something to do with that.
Okay. Let's watch closely and see if Keeney got a little extra help from his teammates. See him getting wrapped up right there. And now teammate kind of reached in there, and I think he was trying to take the ball.
I think Marco Guerrero was trying to help him get to the end zone.
that or give me the football.
Yeah.
I'll take it in for you. Okay, so they actually gave him the yardage, but marked it back 5. And so they're at the 5-yard line on a 1st and goal. And over the right side, Payson will take it and take it into the end zone. And the Longhorns are going to attack another touchdown on the board.
Johnny Football.
Johnny McInerney with the carry for the touchdown. So I've got that as a 5-yard TD run after the penalty was marked back at the end of the play. And it's Johnny McInerney taking it in with 6:13 on the clock. So in the first half of the third quarter, the Payson Longhorns have gotten the ball 3 times and made it pay every time. They are starting to roll that offense now.
Is exactly what we were talking about during halftime. You got to be able to move the ball, and they're doing it so well right now.
Grady Bix with the try. Grady with the successful point after. You watch again as Johnny McInerney powers his way to a Payson touchdown and make it 22-14. Wow, what a turnaround. And this is a little bit more spring in the step there for Coach Burke. He and his guys have scored 3 successive times with the ball here to start the second half. And the Yellow Jackets, who played so well in the first half, take a 14-3 halftime lead. They are shell-shocked right now.
That's a very good way of putting it. They are shell-shocked. They're not coming out with the same aggression and the same pop that they did in the first. And as we mentioned, with the offense that they run, these next 2 drives, both offensively and defensively, are going to be pivotal. They cannot afford to have any turnovers here, whether it be turnover on downs or a fumble or an interception. So they've got to put together 2 really strong drives offensively and get 2 big stops if they want to stay in this game.
It does appear that the Longhorn defense has also figured some things out about the Yellow Jackets and their double wing offense. Here's the return, and Sarche will get rudely met at about the 20-yard line, and Payson get it done on offense. They've been getting it done on defense, and now some great coverage to limit that to a short return to the 20-yard line.
The professionals, the professional athletes, professional football players, they like to talk about getting it done on all 3 phases. And in this second half, Payson has done it on all 3 phases dominantly.
They set the offense. Here's a toss. And a Carlo Harris cut back, and he is now into the open field. Carlos across the 40, and he is going to get shoestring tackled. And there was one guy that saved this one from going a long, long way, and yet at that, a 26-yard gain, the longest gain from scrimmage, at least in the running game for the Yellow Jackets here tonight. In fact, that's the longest gain from scrimmage, period. No, take it back. The touchdown run, 31 yards. Pardon me on that.
Caden Sanchez, great job chasing down Carlo Harris, saving that touchdown.
So the second longest run from scrimmage in this one so far, and maybe for the Yellow Jackets, breathe a little bit more life back into this offense, which has come out here in this third quarter. And they have not been the same. The Payson defense has been a little bit tough on them. The Payson offense has turned opportunities into goals out there as they have scored all 3 times they have gotten the football in the third quarter. First one was a Nolan Keeney to Lucas Lee 34-yard touchdown pass. That shaved the Blue Ridge lead down to 5 points, made it 14-9 just 3 minutes into this third quarter. Then after they were able to force a 3-and-out by the Jackets, it wasn't a 3-and-out, it was a 4-and-out because the Jackets went for it on 4th down. And after that happened, well, Nolan Keeney ripped off a 36-yard touchdown run as we bring it back into Payson and Blue Ridge here at Longhorn Stadium in Payson. And then the third touchdown a moment ago after a fumble recovery, the first turnover of the game by either one of these teams. Fumble recovery by Payson. They turned that into a Johnny McInerney 5-yard touchdown run, and all of a sudden, Payson with a big lead. Here's Carlo Harris refusing to go down, and Carlo's got a nice little gain here. He takes it into Payson territory. Mark him at the 48-yard line, a gain of 6 on the play.
If there's something I've learned about Carlo Harris watching the couple games I've had the opportunity to, he's one tough kid. Right there, that was a big, tough run, big bodies pushing him out of bounds, and he stood up to him.
Would it make sense if I told you that Carlo Harris is a bull rider?
That would make a lot of sense.
He is a bull rider. That's kind of a family thing for these Harrises. Here's the give left side. His brother, we never really talked about his brother. His brother was Franco Harris, not that Franco Harris, the Blue Ridge version. There's Daniel Martinez with call it a 3-yard gain for Daniel. Franco Harris, the brother of Carlo, similar kind of guy. Tough, hard-nosed runner and defensive linebacker, but Franco had about 25 pounds on Carlo. So he was a bigger version. And here comes Carlo right through the middle. But I think if you grow up in the Harris household, there's a couple of things that are givens. As this one is going to get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. Bring up 4th down and less than a yard for the Yellow Jackets. There's a couple of things. You're going to probably grow up around Livestock. Now they're going to give them the full yard and a first down, so that'll move the chains. You're going to grow up with Livestock in the vicinity. Mm-hmm. That's going to make you tough, just that alone. You're going to play football, and you're going to be a really tough football player.
Well, and Blue Ridge right now is really benefiting from that because he is one of the hardest runners right now, making a huge difference for this Blue Ridge team.
They're packed in tight. They're going to toss it to Sarche, and there's a marker down as Sarche eventually does go down himself.
That's going to be a hold.
So the 1-yard gain will be a no gain. And they'll step the yardage up against the Jackets. There was very little called in the first half. Not many penalties called. Here in the second half, we're seeing a little bit more of it.
I think that Blue Ridge front, they're trying to do their best to try to give their runners a chance to get to the next level. And I think we might see a few more of these over the course of the night, just trying to do everything they can to let their runners go through.
So it's a 1st and 20 now for the Jackets. They move back to their half of the field. Sarche, he cuts back and spins ahead, and he will be knocked down at about the 46-yard line is where they're going to put him, so he gets all that yardage lost on the penalty back and bring up 2nd down and 10.
Big tackle there for Bryson Waterman-Eccles. Big man chasing down the runner.
That's a long name, that hyphenated name there.
Yeah.
Did you say Waterman-Eccles?
Waterman-Eccles.
I like it. Going to try the middle with Sarche again. So they're giving Carlo a little break. Seeing if Sarche can take some abuse from those big Payson defenders up front. Boy, that Payson front is it's beefy, isn't it? I mean, you talk about Longhorns. If you put actual horns on those guys up front, they would look the part.
Yeah.
Gain of 2 on the play.
And I think over the course of a game like this, having size on your offensive and defensive line can sometimes be all the difference, especially for a team like Blue Ridge where you run the ball 99% of the time.
3rd down and 8. Do they throw right here? They do not throw. They're going to try to follow Jared Cox, who was pulling, and it just didn't go for much. Hamblin with the carry, and Tank is tackled after a single yard picked up. 4th down and 7 for the Jackets. Do they dare punt right here? I mean, try to pin the guys back a little bit, make them face a long field?
I think to answer the question you asked right before the last play, I think they got to start throwing the ball. And I think right here you might see it.
2 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. It's counting down, and I think the Jackets are going to go ahead and let this thing, they're going to let the play clock run down and take a delay. And they take a timeout. That's what they take.
Time's not their friend.
No.
It's surprising to see them let it run.
No, I agree with that. Although maybe the thinking is you still have to, you're still within a score. You've got to have some confidence. You played a great first half. That landslide can be stopped. So what do? You do run a lot of the clock off. Still, that's your philosophy, I guess. If you're down by 3 touchdowns, maybe a different story.
Yeah, and maybe, Payson right now, they're in a groove. So maybe try to just throw some of the timing off, make it kind of hard on them.
Well, the Payson Longhorns are looking pretty good right now. 5-1 record coming into this. They are 0-1, 0-1 in the 3A Mountain region. Well, I'll take it back. They're 2-1. Sorry about that. They've already played Apache Junction and ALA Mesa North and beat both of those teams by a wide margin. Then they lost to Round Valley at the Dome last week. So 2-1 in the region. They will. Looks like they're going to get a bye next week, and then on the 17th they'll be at Thatcher. Big game at Thatcher. Then they host River Valley, and then they host Sholo to wrap up the season. Boy, 3 tough games. Count this one, 4 tough games. Count last week, 5 tough games in a row for the Payson Longhorns. Wow, that schedule.
Yeah, I want to talk to their athletic director.
That is tough. That is tough. Their athletic director is called Brian Young. We'll talk more about him in a moment as they toss this to Sarche and try to get it that way. Ain't going to happen. Just simply not going to happen. A 2-yard game for Sarche when they needed 7. And it's going to be Payson's football on the turnover on downs.
I don't know what the idea behind the play call was. You've got to get 7 yards. Sarche is a great player, but I would think in this moment you'd want to try to go to the air and try to get your playmakers out and open.
Well, let me ask you this. Does that also say something about the status of number 12 of Carlo Harris? Because he did not get his number called very much there as they tried to do something at the end of that series. And here's a long breakaway. And deep into Yellow Jacket territory, a great run by Nathan Sosi. You and I were talking during a break. I mean, you just feel like you got to get the ball to Sosi more and more and more. He is a gifted runner, and he'll get 29 yards and his longest run from scrimmage that we've seen in a couple of weeks.
He is such a dynamic runner. He has a lot of power, but as you just saw in that replay, he has a lot of speed.
Payson working on trying to break the back of that Yellow Jacket defense. Big gain. Fake it. Keeney keeps. Keeney is going to get knocked down. Pretty good tackle out here on the edge. Not a very big guy making the tackle either. I mean, giving up a lot of size to the quarterback, and the defender that makes that stop, Mason McGowan. McGowan, the senior. And you'll see him right here.
Yeah, great job going low. Go for the legs. Hard for quarterbacks, especially tall ones, to stay on their feet on a scramble. So go for the legs, make them go down.
The 27-yard line is the spot. After the gain of 7, here's a toss completion, and boy, again, a nice tackle on the edge to keep this one from hurting the Yellow Jackets in the biggest of ways with a touchdown saver by, again, Mason McGowan out here on this left edge. The ball is going to go for a first down to about, what is that, the 18?
16, I think.
16-yard line. Call it the 17. That's a gain of 10 on the play, and another Payson first down.
Yeah, Lucas Lee, great catch. Almost broke away for a touchdown right there.
Slot right. Nope, it turns into... Somebody had the wrong formation in mind. He had to sprint to the other side and get it set for Payson. Hand it off up the middle. Sosi's got it. Sosi's got a nice gain. He's going to get about 6 on the play. See where they spot him down. There's a Yellow Jacket on the field. Might be hurt. We're going to call that a pickup of 7 yards and have a look at Daniel Rodriguez, isn't it?
Yep.
That's a big loss if Rodriguez has. Well, he's going to have to come out of the game unless the Yellow Jackets, unless he's okay and they call it timeouts.
I think it's quarter.
So the quarter does end. That'll help a bit for the Jackets. All right. Fourth quarter remains, you people, 22-14. Payson leading Blue Ridge in this exciting 3A Mountain Region showdown at Longhorn Stadium. The Sports Zone Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota.
It's deal or better deal. Only at Hatch Toyota in Sholo. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then play deal or better deal. We've got 15 briefcases loaded with bonus discounts from $300 to a whopping $3,000. Pick your case, open it up, boom, $800 in additional savings. Now here's the twist. Keep it or risk it and go for a better deal. You can keep going until you say deal or drop below your last pick. Financing starting at 0% for 72 months and payment starting at just $189 a month at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall. deal.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Perfect cue on the snap. Keeney's got it right side, and he's going to take it inside and get knocked down near the goal line. Stop just shy. Let's see where they spot him. Is that about the 2? Boy, that is a hard angle for me to see right here.
Yeah, I think it's about the 2.
Call it an 8-yard gain. It'll bring up a first and goal. First and goal for the Payson Longhorns. They are dealing out some second half punishment, aren't they?
Yeah. And having a home crowd backing you, sometimes you get off to a slow start, but having a crowd here backing you is going to be huge for teams like this.
Hand it off to Sosi. He is going to try to twist and spin his way into the end zone, and so close, but not enough. He is inside the 1-yard line with that one. He felt like he got in. Obviously, he's going to say that. So at the 1-yard line, Sosi there again in the backfield. Got to give it to him, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's been the X factor on this drive.
They're lining up for the quarterback sneak is what they're doing. And that was the weirdest quarterback sneak I've seen in my entire life. I'm not sure what I just looked at. And Keeney did not get in, couldn't get it across, and he is stopped right there at about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Keeney looked like he was waiting for an invitation.
I'm not sure what I'm looking at right there. That's no gain. All right. Design, of course. And the running backs, they were pinched down, and they went straight in. Obviously, that was a designed attempt at sneaking it in. Didn't happen now from the gun and from the 1-yard line. Sosi will get it. And Sosi will get the touchdown. Nathan Sosi able to churn those legs and make his way in, and that's a Payson Longhorn touchdown.
Blue Ridge doing a great job on the first play there, shutting down the QB sneak, and almost had Sosi stood up, but the second effort from Sosi gets him into the end zone for the touchdown.
The kick is up and the kick is good for Payson. And the onslaught in the second half for the Longhorns continues. They have scored 4 unanswered touchdowns. It's a lead now 29-14. The Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Show Low, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
Well, now we're getting into that situation where the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets offense is becoming a liability. Not because they can't move the football and haven't moved the football in the game, and they've done it with some terrific success, particularly the first half. So you see this kick return come out for the Yellow Jackets out somewhere near the 30-yard line. But Trey Schneider, this is not an offense designed to move the ball quickly and score and strike quickly, and now you're down 2 scores. You need points in a hurry. You can never let yourself get into this situation. In the Yellow Jackets, that's where they're at.
No, you do not want to be in this situation. So now as a coaching staff for Blue Ridge, you've got one of 2 options. You're going to have to throw out of this tight wing, which can be difficult to do, or you're going to have to abandon ship and find another formation.
They will toss it, and Breckinshaw Sarche is going to find the corner, and he'll get dragged down near the 41-yard line for a first down. Gain on the play of 14 for Brecken. And I got to ask you, where's Carlo Harris? We haven't seen Carlo touch the football in quite some time in the last, 8 or 10 rushing plays. He has not had the ball.
He's right there. Let's see if they call him. I never saw him go down, so I wonder if maybe it's just they see something they like going a different way.
They're not going to give it to him again. This time it's Tank Hamlin, and Hamlin doing a good job. Going to stiff arm somebody into the turf and then sprawl ahead for a gain on the play. This time good for about 7 on the play.
Tank running like the tank, man. He did such a good job there being patient, and then once he saw his hole develop, he exploded through it, doing what runners do.
29-14, Payson in front of Blue Ridge. 9:26 on the clock in the third quarter. And the double wing is approaching midfield. That was Hamlin with a bobble on the pitch. He was able to collect it in, and Tank is able to get 4 yards for the first down.
Good hard running right here. But again, you have to look at the time up on the scoreboard, and you can't help but think you've got to change it up. You can't continue to run. You've got to air it out a couple of times, try to get some bigger chunks of yards.
And another non-Carlo Harris run from scrimmage for the Yellow Jackets. Now he's in motion, and now he gets the football. But hit immediately. It's good defense by the Payson Longhorns, and he didn't look like he had the kind of head of steam you normally see him getting before contact. So I'm very curious and concerned about Carlo and his status. He obviously on the field, but is he really 100% or anything close to that? Bryson Waterman-Eccles, the first guy on the hit.
Well, I was going to say, I think that we found out why he's maybe not getting the ball. They're lining Waterman-Eccles there on the opposite side of him. They don't want Carlo Harris running that way.
Fake it and give it to Sarche. We saw that thing go for 2 big gains against Round Valley, that little misdirection, the trap. But Payson's been on top of that thing pretty much all night long, watching some film undoubtedly. 3rd down and 9, and the clock counting down under 8 minutes now remaining for the Yellow Jackets.
Payson's front 8, they're doing a great job. They're pinching everything into the inside, funneling everything back, and anything that does happen to bounce outside, they force it to bubble way out, and Blue Ridge hasn't been able to get the big gains that they're accustomed to within this offense.
8 guys in the box, halfback pass, it's intercepted. The receiver wasn't looking, and Payson is racing down the sideline with blockers. This one's going to the house. Everybody, that's a 55-yard interception return for the Payson Longhorns, and they're on the board again. This time the defense gets it done.
Caden Sanchez on the interception. Blue Ridge tried to run a little bit of the Philly special. It was a handoff to a running back who then pitched it to a receiver who tried to throw it to Brax Clough, and Brax Clough wasn't ready for it, and it got intercepted by Caden Sanchez and ran back.
How about these Payson Longhorns? How about the second half of football they have played? It has been extraordinary. And they're going to work on seeing if they can add another point to it right here.
Penalty on the extra point against the defense.
We'll get a marker down, and we'll get reset here in just a moment. Here comes Daniel Rodriguez off the field for the Yellow Jackets. Looking a lot better running off than he did walking off at the end of the third quarter. It's a few minutes ago. Well, we're going to have to start thinking about the White Mountain Regional Medical Center player of the game, and we're going to have to start thinking about somebody on this Payson side now.
Yeah.
First half, it was really all a discussion about the Yellow Jackets. Obviously, the second half has been a feast for the Longhorns. What do they feast on? What does the Longhorn want? A little hay?
A little alfalfa, I think, is what they're going for.
Get a Longhorn up at the buffet. It's some alfalfa, you say.
A lot of salads.
And yet they turn that into some amazing, delicious protein. And I'll never understand that. The point after is good. Everybody, as you look at it right there, the throw was short. The receiver wasn't looking. And Sanchez takes it to the house for the Longhorns, who lead now 36-14. The Sports Zone Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Your neighbors and friends won't have to fake their enthusiasm over your new wall. With the durability and strength of precast Verticrete walls from Hatch Concrete is a solid investment. Enhance your property's value with a two-sided decorative concrete wall that's as stylish as it is affordable. No yearly repairs or restaining needed. Request a free estimate from Hatch Concrete today, where quality isn't just a name, but a tradition.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
Big thank you to White Mountain Regional Medical Center. They'll bring you the Sports Zone's player of the game at the end of this one. Also, thank you to Perkins Cinders. They are the sponsors of the Friday Night Football Show Hall of Fame. We've got a couple of guys getting inducted real soon. Rathan Reisdorf for the Sholo Cougars will go in soon with his trophy all ready to go. And Marcus Bell, the great Marcus Bell, will be inducted at Round Valley next Friday. Can't wait for that. So make sure you make plans to be there. If you are a Marcus Bell fan, if you know or knew or played with or against Marcus Bell, why not share in his big moment with his induction and his trophy presentation? That'll be at halftime next Friday at Round Valley High School. Round Valley will be taking on the Sholo Cougars, and we'll have that presentation for Marcus. And we're excited about that.
Sounds good.
You'll be there.
I will be there.
I'm scheduled to not be there.
Okay.
All right. Byron Brown will be there with you on the play-by-play call. That's the lineup for next week at the Dome. I am supposed to be in Wisconsin next Friday and Saturday. As you see Payson call a timeout here with 7:24 remaining in regulation. And so I'm supposed to be on the road next week.
Okay.
My son plays for Carroll University in Wisconsin, and it's their homecoming.
Okay.
And so I'm scheduled to be there, but here's the deal. He's, in all likelihood, he's redshirting.
Okay.
Now, if he doesn't redshirt, he will suit up and he'll play in that game. But if he plays, he'll be playing injured. Okay? So there's a little bit of he was examined this week by medical staff and then referred to the team doctor, and so he did get examined by the doctor, and MRI was done, and now they're going to read that, and we're going to find out if he's going to get redshirted. And it's a hamstring. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, those are pesky, man. Those injuries are the worst.
From the 29-yard line, the Yellow Jackets are going to toss it to Brecken Sarche, and he is going to get tackled on the edge. Good open field tackle. And for the Longhorns, defensively, Landon Parton brings down the running back, and it's a no gain on the play.
If I'm Payson, I'm looking to extend my sidelines just a little bit. Sarche on that tackle, the grass is not very far beyond the out-of-bounds line, and got tackled, and his helmet went straight into the sand and made a thud that I didn't quite like from up here. So if Payson, if you value anything I have to say that much, maybe extend that sideline just a little bit.
Let's do it. Here's a toss, and that Brax Clough pass attempt is going to be shy of his receiver. He was looking for Waylon Peters. Peters, a great athlete, get it in his hands in the open field, and He can make some things happen, but he could not reach back and make the catch.
This is a difficult situation, right? As if I'm Brax Clough, we've been running the ball all game, and now that it's crunch time, it's hard to turn on that connection with your receivers to try to throw the ball to try to keep this game competitive.
It really is. It's 3rd down and 11 for the Horns, or for the Jackets rather. And was that Carlo finally carrying the ball for the first time in a while? It was. Yes. Carlo Harris hadn't seen any action with the football in quite some time. He does gain 4 yards on that play, but it brings up 4th down. And maybe the last gasp right here for the Yellow Jackets on offense. They're going to go for it.
You have to. If you want to give yourself a chance to stay competitive in this game, this is an obvious down where you're going to go for it. And it's going to be interesting to see how they well, it looks like they're lining up to punt.
I was going to say, it looked like they were going for it, and then all of a sudden Brax Clough just started dropping more, and he's back there, and Brax will send it away, and it looks like the Yellow Jackets might be conceding here down by 22 with an offense that is not designed to score 23 in this short period of time. Nobody back, and a good roll. And Payson will get it at the 36-yard line. They're on, or 26, the 26-yard line. It'll be Payson's football. And just a tough hill to try and climb back from at this point. The Yellow Jackets defensively are going to try to minimize any further damage here, I guess.
I love to talk about goals, and if you're Blue Ridge right now, the goal for your defense is don't let them score. Walk away with a positive here. You know, if you can shut them out, get your offense back on, and just march down for a little bit until time runs out. That would be, you know, a win for this quarter that's not gone Blue Ridge's way by any means.
Payson takes over, throwing 26. They hand it. And it's going to be Sosi carrying the football. Sosi is going to get a nice little pickup on the play. How about 7 on the play for Nathan Sosi?
He is so balanced in everything that he does. He got hit there on the left shoulder and kind of forced him to spin a little bit, stayed on his feet, and was still able to get a couple extra yards after that initial hit.
Well, he gained 7, but this time he's going to get stood up. Maybe pick up a yard on the play. I take it back. He got 4 yards on the play, didn't he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, this angle up here, it's tough to kind of tell what they're doing.
Didn't see it, but success nonetheless. Whereas the guy would say success. Yeah. Success. You know what I'm talking?
I don't.
You know what I'm talking about? No.
It sounds familiar.
Derek's
but no.
got it on. Yeah. Success. So it's first down. The ball is at the 36-yard line. Straight up the middle it goes. Longhorns are now playing just to get to the end of the game. They mix it up a little bit this time in the ground game and give an opportunity to run the football to Trey Marinelli.
That's an interesting way to spell Trey.
I'm assuming it's pronounced Trey, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I think. Not the way that I spell it.
Treigh.
Yeah, I can't phonetically think of another way that would go.
Here's a fake and a throw, and that'll be your first down right to near midfield for the Hook'em Horns.
Marco Gurecki with a now route, just catch. He's got a couple guys going deep to help block for him and just gets a first down.
11 yards to gain on the play. Nice delivery. And count that first down for the Longhorns. Just shy midfield, ball at the 49-yard line. Johnny Football. 7 yards gained on the play. He's going to park this one at the 44 of Blue Ridge. And the Longhorns just chewing out that clock.
When you've got that size advantage on the line, Johnny Football there took the handoff and just let them do the work, and he just kind of walked in behind him until someone slipped off a block.
Second down and 3. Long snap count, McInerney. And he does not want to go down. Certainly wasn't going to go down without a little bit of a battle there. Johnny gains 9.
I didn't think he was going to go down of his own free will there. He was going to make somebody stop him. But it looked like he banged up that knee just a little bit getting up, which is a shame when at this point in the game.
Checked out of the game. Yeah, let's hope he's okay. He is a valuable commodity on this Longhorns roster. We go to 2:15 remaining in regulation. Clock is just counting down. And a first down for Payson. Hand off to Sosi, and Sosi is going to get dragged down after a yard gain on the play. A couple of those Yellow Jacket defenders get there. Tank Hamblin was there. But for the Yellow Jackets, also on the stop was Cody Nacho. Single yard gained. A minute 45 left. And this thing is going to end mercifully soon for the Yellow Jackets, because I don't think that I think they're like a punch drunk boxer. They have no idea what has hit them here in the second half.
Yeah, this is one of those round 12 bouts where you're just hoping for that bell.
Well, that was interesting right there. The Longhorns tried to catch the Yellow Jackets off guard, tried to throw to the end zone, tried to throw one deep, and that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to go further than that.
Not exactly sure why you do it, but they did. Hey, we need to think about the Sports Zone's play of the game. It's brought to you by White Mountain Regional Medical Center.
It's going to be tough because this was a full team effort tonight.
Yeah, it was. I do have my vote, though.
All right, I'll try to put mine together. I'm still struggling.
Why don't you vote? We're going to find out from the rest of the team here in just a moment. Throw deep, and that pass is caught. The Jackets let the guy get behind them, and Payson throws a 34-yard touchdown pass. Payson wasn't done, were they?
No, they were not. Xavier Robinson on the fade. Underthrown, but when you're that wide open, it really doesn't matter where the ball's at. Makes the catch and gets into the end zone.
That is a 34-yard strike. You can hear along the on the other side, they are in great spirits on the Payson sideline. Point after try is successful. With a minute 15 remaining here in reg. Watch it again. Pass caught, TD. Thank you to our sponsoring partners of the Sports Zone's Game of the Week. Of course, it's Hatch Toyota as the presenting sponsor, but we've got several other great partners out there, including Owens Energy. They just joined our Friday Night Football Show team. Thank you to Owens Energy. A big thank you goes out to Hatch Concrete as well. You know, at Hatch Concrete, they say, this mud's for you. That's what they say. Big thanks goes to Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tints. Yeah, you're getting good at that.
I'm doing my best here.
You're getting good at that. All right, if I was to say something like, hey, this has been a great game between the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and
Tint.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I just wait for that and pause.
Listen, you're nothing if not a creature of habit.
And maybe that's why I became an accountant.
You like numbers, do you?
They're the thing that come easiest. I don't know. I wouldn't say I like them, but they come the easiest.
Yeah. Minute 15 remaining in regulation. Let's see. You got a vote there, Big Sean Ulvestad? You got Sosi. Sean's got Sosi. Who do you got back there? Got Keeney, the quarterback. He gets a vote from our technical director, Noah. And how about, what does Derek say down there? What? 78? Oh, he wants a lineman.
Yeah, Waterman Eccles.
Waterman Eccles. He likes the hyphenation is what he does. We may never have in our history given the player of the game to a hyphenated last name, so that might be what he's thinking. Here's the return by Sarche. And he's out to the 30-yard line. First down for the Yellow Jackets there with 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining in regulation. So that's 3 different votes right there. We've got. We need to acknowledge our scoreboard operator, by the way, because here at Payson is one of those places we have had to have a scoreboard operator do it for us. That's Mike Breeze. Thank you, Mike. Great job all game long. We appreciate you. Mike, who's your vote for the Sports Zone's player of the game? Oh, he likes Caden Sanchez.
You like that pick six.
With that big interception that he housed. The pick six. Okay, so there's a vote there. Is that 4 different votes so far?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is.
So I'll say this. My vote goes to someone that's already been said.
Take a look at this right here. Okay, watch the block by number 78 there. He takes 2 guys out with 1 block. And then he kind of shields the other guy.
Yep. Well, and defensively, he was the guy lined up opposite of Carlo Harris that kind of dissuaded Blue Ridge from wanting to go that way.
Waterman Eccles gets a vote. And that replay really was terrifically. There he is, big number 78 right there, and another stop in the middle. That'll might be the final play of the game. So give us your vote there, Big Trey Schneider. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Keeney, quarterback.
You got Keeney?
Had a great game, and I think he lit a fire under these guys in the second half.
All right, Derek, I think our two players of the game for the Payson Longhorns, we'll give them 2 players. Nolan Keeney, the quarterback, and big Mr.
Waterman
Eccles. I mean, why not, right?
I like that.
Throw up the timely replay right there. Bryson Waterman Eccles will be our other Sports Zone player of the game. All of that presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. We will endeavor to get a post-game conversation with those 2 gentlemen coming up here in a little bit. As you see the handshake, the big coach there in the front, that's the head coach. That is Brian Burke. Led his team back marvelously in the second half. After about 49 yards of offense and just a couple of first downs in the first half, he got his guys geared up. I'd like to know what that conversation at halftime was like.
Oh, yeah, we definitely need to ask about that. But real quick, just there on the screen, Milo Sproul with the cartwheel backflip, full pads and helmet. You don't see that very often from a high school lineman.
Impressive. Very impressive. Okay. Go out to a timeout, and we'll find out what our timing looks like on a conversation with a couple of these Payson Longhorns that pick up the Sports Zone's player of the game in a second half rout and a final score of 43-14. They have defeated the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. 40 second half points for the Longhorns. The Sports Zone's Game of the Week has been presented by Hatch Toyota.
The all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma is here at Hatch Toyota, and it's tougher, smarter, and bolder than ever. It's built to handle Arizona's wildest terrain. Drive one home for as low as $269 a month. Plus, it's deal or better deal. Make your best deal on any new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Then take your shot at bonus savings with 15 mystery briefcases. Each holds a hidden discount from $300 to $3,000. Only at Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall.
At the Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
When exactness is ordered, Hatch Concrete will deliver. We provide ready-mix concrete for any size job, from the do-it-yourself project to the professional construction project, delivering a variety of aggregate to suit your concrete or construction needs from granite to cinders. Hatch Concrete is not just another ready-mix concrete company. We provide quality surface, quality concrete, concrete pumping, and Fox blocks where quality is not just a name, but a tradition. At Hatch Concrete, this mud's for you.
You don't have to drive hours for top-notch healthcare. We've got it right here at White Mountain Regional Medical Center's Rural Health Clinic in Springerville. Heart skipping a beat? Our cardiologists have you covered. Achy feet? Our podiatry team's a step ahead. From pulmonology to orthopedics and mental and behavioral health, we treat you, not just the chart. White Mountain Regional Medical Center, empowering a healthier community.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your best of the White Mountains 2025 Best Propane Company, Owens Energy. In fact, it's their 5th consecutive win in a row. Owens has been proudly serving our community for more than 25 years, supporting local organizations, providing dependable service, and now an official partner of the Sports Zone's Friday Night Football Show. It's all about propane at Owens Energy, a local family-owned business with friendly, reliable service right here in Arizona's White Mountains. Owens Energy, your White Mountains propane provider.
Furniture Gallery, we just don't sell lazy boy recliners, sofas, and sectionals. We sell the good life. We'll do whatever it takes to make your house feel like a home, short of tucking you in at night. Comfort guaranteed, style on point. Because once you sit down, you'll never want to stand up. And that's exactly how we make our customers for life. The Furniture Gallery, the champions of comfort.
Hey, welcome back into our post-game wrap-up, everybody, on the Sports Zone's Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota. What a victory for the Payson Longhorns. What a second half. They scored 40 second-half points. They were unstoppable by the Yellow Jacket defense. I don't know what was said in the locker room at halftime, Trey, but whatever it was, it worked.
Oh, for sure, and we're certainly going to ask our Sports Zone's players at the game what was said, because that's something I'm going to put in my pocket just in case I ever need it, because that was one of the best halves of football I've ever seen.
It really was. The Longhorns came to life after the offense sputtered big time in the first half. They really only drove the ball very well one time in that entire first half, had about 49 yards of offense. The Yellow Jackets had 3 times that amount in the first half, but it was a complete turnabout in the second half. The Yellow Jackets unable to put points on the board past halftime. And as I said, Payson put 40 up. Check the scoring for you real quick. The Yellow Jackets opened up the scoring at 5:47 on the clock at the first quarter. A 31-yard Daniel Rodriguez touchdown run for the Yellow Jackets. 2-point conversion was good, made it 8-0 Blue Ridge in front. Payson added their first points at the 9:29 mark of the second quarter on a 30-yard Grady Bix field goal. And that's it. That's all that Payson could do in that first half. They trailed at that point 8-3. The ensuing Yellow Jacket possession was a 15-play, 75-yard drive. And at the end of it, Carlo Harris punched it in, a 1-yard touchdown run for Carlo. The try for point was no good. The Yellow Jackets lead there, and going into halftime was 14-3. And the Yellow Jackets looked terrific. The defense was playing marvelously. But both offense and defense failed to come out of the locker room after halftime for the Yellow Jackets, because Payson got the ball first, and they scored quickly. A 57-yard drive, took only 5 plays, and the touchdown was a 34-yard Nolan Keeney touchdown pass to Lucas Lee. Connected with him for, as I said, 34 yards. Point was no good, and Payson had pulled it within 5 points. It was 14-9 at that juncture. Continuing forward, the Yellow Jackets would go 3 and outs. Really, they went 4 and out. They gave it up on downs. And after getting the ball at the Yellow Jacket 36-yard line, 2 plays later, Payson was in the end zone again. This time it was a 36-yard Nolan Keeney touchdown run. And the point after failed on that, but Payson had jumped in front for the first time in the game. They led 15-14. The next Payson possession was another quick touchdown. This after a Yellow Jacket fumble and a Payson recovery at the 19-yard line. 2 plays after that, and Johnny McInerney was in the end zone on a 5-yard touchdown run. The kick was good. Payson led 22-14. The very next Payson possession was another touchdown. This time Nathan Sosi, a 1-yard touchdown plunge. The kick made it 29-14. And then into the fourth quarter, a 55-yard interception return for touchdown by Caden Sanchez added to the Payson success there. 36-14 was the score at that point. And then finally, Nolan Keeney hooked up with Xavier Robinson on a 34-yard touchdown pass right at the end of the game with 1:15 remaining. And it gave Payson their final of 43-14. They have defeated the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Well, it looks like we might have one of those young men representing the Payson Longhorns and one of our Sports Zone players of the game set to join us. The player of the game is presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. And you see the big fella there in front of you. That is Bryson Waterman
Eccles.
Bryson with the hyphenation. Hey, congratulations on you and the team's win tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, listen, man, it was a tale of two halves. Your team did not do a lot successfully in the first half. I don't mean to bring that back up to you. But my broadcast partner, I'm Floyd Simmons, my broadcast partner, Trey Schneider, we want to know what Coach Brian Burke and the guys said to you guys in the locker room at halftime, because whatever it was, it woke you guys up, and you played a great second half.
Yes, sir, thank you. Just went in the locker room, got a little fired up because defense wasn't performing well. Burke went in the locker room, hyped us up, told us to lock in and, just had to get our job done so we can catch the dub and move on.
That's it? That's all he said?
Yes, sir. Fired up. Like in a really mean voice, but he got it through.
Oh, he used his mean voice.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Well, okay. And by the way, it's got to be fun playing for Coach Burke, especially you, a guy like you who plays a lot like he did. He was a great defensive lineman, terrific offensive lineman. You do those same jobs, and you must have a ton of respect for him. He brings a lot of street cred, doesn't he, to the locker room?
Yeah, I love that guy. It's my coach. I've known him since I was a little kid, and he's just always loved me and just wanted me to come out, and I came out, and I'm thankful that I did. Cause
we like that guy a lot, too. He's a terrific dude. So, obviously, they helped you guys turn things around in that second half. You playing in the trenches with Blue Ridge and their success running the football of the first half, what did you guys have to do to shut them down? And then conversely, on your offensive side, what did you have to do there to get the success that you saw in the second half?
Well, we knew that they were going to run and shove it down our throats sometimes, but we knew just had to keep going. Never keep your head up and just stay focused on the goal and win. And we clearly did that, and
Awesome. Well, number 12 from Blue Ridge, Carlo Harris, he's been a monster for Blue Ridge. And I noticed in the second half, you seem to always be lined up on the opposite side of the field from him, knowing that he was probably going to go into motion and come your way.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
That was not intentional.
Okay.
We actually were not aware of that, but now that you bring that up, that's a great point.
You were there right on the spot. Getting that kind of second half output from your team, especially after playing probably 3/4 of football that you guys were not happy with at all.
Yeah, no.
The Dome last week and then the first half here. What is it like for you? What does it mean to get back in rhythm and get this thing going back the right direction?
It's a great feeling. As a football team, we talk about going 1-0, so if you mess up, just move on to the next play and get it back. So I think we did that a lot tonight, and that's how we ended up pulling away and catching the dub.
Tell us more about the guys that play in the trenches with you on your team.
Oh, we got All-State DN Ethan Gertner. Just broke the sack record a couple weeks ago for the school. One heck of a player. That's one of my best friends. I love that guy. We got Landon Parton, number 9. When he brings the juice, everybody's fired up. And when he performs, everybody performs. He helps his teammates get open and makes everybody else better. My brother, 55, Braden Lee, he's my D-tackle brother. Been playing with him for a long time. He's just one of my best teammates. Much respect to him. He'll always hold the rope for me, and I'll always hold the rope for him. We got a couple of rotators. My sophomore, Milo. Milo's a beast. you tell him to do anything, he'll do it. He holds the rope for you, and
if you tell
I really appreciate that.
If you tell him to do a backflip, he'll do that too.
Oh, he loves backflips. Loves backflips.
That was one of the most athletic things I've ever seen a lineman do.
An athletic guy. He's a real athletic guy.
Impressive. Did we leave anybody out? Did we get everybody?
This week we had a couple more rotators. So we had Jace Brownlee, who normally comes and plays defense, but he stepped up a lot today. Him, Joe Del Guy, Andrew Rodriguez. Shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for your efforts today.
Well, you guys have been making a lot of noise in the state this year, and getting back on the winning track, I'm sure means a lot to you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
Congratulations, and we invite you to just get out there and enjoy your win, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, you bet there. One of our Sports Zone players of the game, helping this team to a big win on their home turf, the Payson Longhorns, and that's Bryson Waterman-Eccles. It's a mouthful right there.
It is, and he's a lot to deal with on the line.
Really is. Really is a big fella, isn't he? I should have asked him about that lead block that he threw where he took a couple of Yellow Jackets out on the long touchdown run for Keeney early on in the second half. Just put on display what he's capable of doing. The most impressive thing to me, Trey, on that was how far downfield he was still throwing blocks.
Keeping up with Nolan Keeney all the way down the field. Looks like he's been doing this for a while.
It really does. And I think Nolan's ready to join us. Let's continue on with our discussions with the Sports Zone's players of the game. We talked to Bryson just a few moments ago. Let's talk to the quarterback for the Payson Longhorns. Nolan Keeney joins us now. Nolan, congratulations on the Longhorns win tonight.
Thank you.
Let's see here. The Sports Zone player of the game is presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. And this guy here, the quarterback for Payson. Well, Nolan, you guys, I'm sure you don't even want to talk about that first half. Couldn't really get anything going. The offense barely made a sputter in the first half. What in the world got into you guys in that second half? Because that was amazing.
Just a little bit of yelling. I think that definitely got us because I don't know what was going on in the first half. But I don't know if it carried over from last game or what, but it definitely was a little loud in the locker room, but it got us fired up, got us going. So.
Well, you probably didn't get a chance to listen to the Friday Night Football show. Most players don't because it goes on the air at 5 o'clock on our local radio in the White Mountains. And we talked a lot about you guys, and we talked about you on our show earlier, Nolan. And after seeing you last week, one of the ingredients I felt was missing from what you do and add to this offense is using what is obviously your athleticism. We saw you with the ability to do some really athletic things against Round Valley, and yet we didn't see you displaying it. There wasn't a lot of running. Tonight, in the second half in particular, you got on that racetrack out there and started running, and you got that long touchdown run plus some other contributions. We wanted to see it. We're glad we did see it. Tell us about what you do, and is that something that can be expected a lot out of you?
I think so. I mean, it really depends on our game plan, but I mean, if they need me, I'm gonna do what I need to. Really, winning's the most important thing. If it's not me that's getting the ball, then that's fine. But I just do what I can whenever I get it. I really just trust our teammates to do the same thing too.
Awesome. Well, Nolan, I'm gonna date myself a little bit. I'm old. I played quarterback back in the day, wore number 8. I used to think of myself as the quarterback that you are right now, where I thought I was pretty agile and a big threat. But what is it about using your legs? Because you kind of mentioned, well, if it's in the game plan, when do you make the decision that, you know what, maybe the game plan needs to take a sidestep because I've got a lane and I've got to go?
I don't know. I don't really like being that selfish about things like that. I think if our coaches give it to us, I think it's the right thing. And really, we just got to, what we're given to us, we got to make it work. I believe that we can make anything work. It's just up to our O-line to do the right things, our running backs make the right cuts. Because, I mean, really our running back's just about athletic as I am.
We're talking with Nolan Keeney, the quarterback here for the Payson Longhorns, and just a phenomenal second half. 40 points put up by the Longhorns in the second half alone. Every time you got the ball past halftime, you did something with it. And it resulted in this big win tonight here, 43-14 the final. Well, Nolan, your team then getting back on the winning track. What do you feel like you could do if you got a shot at Round Valley again? And keep in mind that Round Valley is just getting more and more healthy as the season goes along now, right? And they get this big bye. But you might see them down the road. You might see them in the playoffs again. Would that be a matchup you'd look forward to?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to playing them again. I think we were off. They definitely played better than we did that game, but we played pretty bad. And I think if we really stick to what we've been doing, I think we're definitely coming back.
I got to tell you, man, that was an impressive second half of football. Is that the Payson Longhorn team we can expect to see a lot of?
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're really going to try to change much from what we just did right there. I think we're going to try to stick that game plan and the way we played right there for the rest of the season because, I don't know, I think everybody was liking it. So
you guys have a really tough schedule coming up, okay? I mean, the teams that you're going to play, your next time out, help me out here, your next game, that's a tough one. You get the week off, right? And then you've got Thatcher on the 17th. You're going to go to Thatcher for that game, and then you finish up with 2 tough home games, River Valley at home and Cholo at home. My goodness, man. You guys have a really rigorous schedule ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the point. We were trying to get all the best teams we could on our schedule. We're trying to be ready for playoffs, and, I mean, we're probably going to end up playing one of these teams twice in the playoffs. If everybody makes it, we'll see one of them. So we're just trying to be tested for when we get the playoffs.
Well, I think that test I think it's happening for sure. Good job tonight. Congratulations. Enjoy your victory.
Thank you very much.
You got it. All right, there's the quarterback, Nolan Keeney, the Payson Longhorns. And for them tonight, big win at home over the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets as you look in at a few more of the highlights in this one. How about this Payson second half, 40 points? And look, okay, Blue Ridge, they're upset. They're upset about that last touchdown pass. And that's not a subject we're going to bring up, certainly not with the players. We're not going to ask them about that. Would we have liked to see Payson just keep the ball on the ground and keep running? Of course, yes. At the end of the game, that last touchdown was a little bit of trash there at the end. However, on the other, you always have a reason for what you do, and they took 2 shots at the end. One of them amounted to the touchdown that ended up being the 42nd and 43rd points when you had the point after. Don't worry about that right now. Just think about what Payson did as a team in that second half. And they really put it together in a way I haven't seen adjustments like that in a really long time. And somebody come out against a good quality defense like Blue Ridge has, put 40 points on them. You haven't seen it.
No. Coming out of the half, I was ready for what we saw in the first half. I was ready for a quick go home, if you will, for them to run the clock out and take care of business. But it was, 2 completely different teams. I think that the execution and the focus was there, and I think that Payson had their pride hurt just a little bit. When you kind of brought up last week when we were talking to the players, that was just not a good showing from a good football team. And then you have tonight, the first half, again, not a good showing from a very good football team. And they came out and showed how they were able to go 5-0 in their first 5 games.
Yeah, certainly did. You want to tip your hats to some of these guys on that Yellow Jacket team that battled. Carlo Harris has always given you his best. Did not run the football a lot past the third quarter. We saw a lot of Carlo, as we always do, for the first 3, but in that fourth quarter, I think he ran the ball twice maybe. His teammates certainly tried to pick up the slack, and Brecken Sarche ran hard and played tough, but just wasn't enough in that second half where the Yellow Jackets couldn't put anything on the board, did not score past halftime. Brax Clough is always going to bring you his best, and he may be the smartest player we see all year. He is such an intelligent football player. Played great defensively, played great defending the long ball that Payson was throwing in that second half. But in the end, just not enough. These guys did not have enough in the tank. Could not stop that Payson offense. Of course, we saw it. You saw it. And you're looking at the evidence and the highlights. And the offense shut down in that second half too. Don't know what happened with the Yellow Jackets, but I'm sure they're going to work hard at figuring it out between now and the next time out.
Yeah, and you look here with the offense that they run with that tight wing. The benefit that comes with that is your defense gets typically pretty good rests in between series. And I think that was the biggest difference maker in the second half is that Blue Ridge defense spent a lot more time on the field than they are accustomed to.
I agree with that. They certainly did. Well, let's see. A week from tonight, our next Sports Zone Game of the Week broadcast, it'll be at the Dome. It'll be Round Valley hosting Sholo at the Round Valley Dome. So that's next Friday night, part of the Friday Night Football Show, of course. Byron Brown, Trey Schneider will have the call for us here at the Sports Zone. And we'll also, at halftime of that game at the Round Valley Dome, we will be inducting the great Marcus Bell into the Friday Night Football Show Hall of Fame. Great crystal trophy presentation. It's a beautiful trophy. I don't know if you've seen these trophies.
I haven't.
You're going to see one next week.
It might be my only chance at seeing one.
And you're going to I'll see it from a distance. You're going to see it, and you're going to love it, okay? All right. So that's going to happen next week. So if you know Marcus, if you're a big fan of Marcus Bell, you should be, okay? One of the greats of all time here in our part of the state. Why not make a plan to be out there and celebrate with Marcus next Friday night? And he's not a guy that he's not going to invite you to go. So you're going to have to get that invitation from somebody like me. He doesn't make a big deal about that kind of stuff, but we'll make a big deal out of it. Okay?
Gotta love that humility.
Yeah. So that'll be halftime of that game next week. So make sure you plan to be a part of it, everybody. I don't think I'm going to be there. I'm scheduled to be in Wisconsin, and I think I'm going to be there. But we'll see, and we'll find out what the next week holds for me personally. On that note, all that kind of stuff. I want to thank our crew, our outstanding crew, led by our producer Derek Simmons. And our technical director, that's Noah Anderson. Big Sean Ulvestad on camera. And thank you to Mike Breeze, our scoreboard operator here locally from Payson. For my broadcast partner, Trey Schneider, I am Floyd Simmons, reminding you of the final score. Payson has defeated Blue Ridge in this 3A Mountain Region game, 43-14 the final score. Until next time, until next week, I want to say God bless you, everybody, and thanks for joining us for this broadcast of the Sports Zone Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Hatch Toyota. And until next week, good night, everybody, from Longhorn Stadium.